Hey guys, it's me, Sound, and today I'm going to bring you a tutorial on how to play Kirby. First things first, with playing Kirby, you have to accept that you're playing a low tier character. He hasn't really been all that great since Smash 64, and Melee wasn't that good, Brawl wasn't that good, and Smash 4, well, Smash 4's Kirby was better than this game's Kirby, so you're going to want to accept that you're playing a nerfed version of Kirby in this game. Now, rule 1 for playing Kirby, when you're in friendlies, you have to use down taunt. It's just a requirement. If you don't use it, you're going to lose every single time, and then they'll teabag you. Nah, but really though, what you're going to want to do is learn the bread and butter for Kirby, which is going to be forward throw into down air or forward throw into forward air. Against some characters, forward throw into forward air doesn't work, so in those cases you're going to want to rely on down air. In the background gameplay, you'll probably see that I use forward throw into forward air and then another forward air afterwards. That's really just to keep spacing, because a lot of players like to attack right as soon as they have a chance to, so they'll look for like the frames in between your moves, and Kirby has a lot of frames in between, like a lot of ending lag, and not a lot of hit stun, so they'll just keep mashing their A button because they're new to the game, they don't really know what dodging is. And then you get hit by their nair because you didn't space your forward air correctly, or you just went a little bit too far in, and next thing you know you're getting comboed. So prioritize spacing with forward air. Now if you're noticing that your opponent is going in for grabs and dash attacks a lot, and you just don't know how to counter it, then your best bet will be to just try baiting with down air. So like they'll run in, go for a grab, you'll hit them with down air, and then you can just hit them with up tilt or down tilt. If you get down tilt's trip, then you can combo that into forward air, and then you can really get the ball rolling, get your momentum up, and start laying on some pressure, really turn the tides to your favor. Now let me get into the special moves. A lot of new Kirby players just like to spam down B because they know it has a lot of damage. The problem is that down B is really easy to punish, especially because they usually just let it go early, and if they hold it too long, they'll just get grabbed. The thing about Kirby's down B is that it only really works against other new players. So if you have somebody that's underneath you charging up smash, then you can just use down B on them and they'll pretty much always get hit. They don't really try to move. They don't let that move go early because they're new players. They don't know things. One thing that a lot of players don't know about Kirby's down B though is that if you use it on stage without jumping, it'll send the enemy horizontal. It's a pretty useless technique though, because a lot of players will just attack you when they see you running up to them, and it's pretty hard to get off with all the startup time. One thing I like to do with Kirby's down B though is I'll knock them off the stage and then I'll just edge guard with it, so if they're at high percents it'll get an instant kill, and if they're at low to mid percents it's just free damage. But one thing to keep in mind with Kirby's down B is that it does send them upwards, so they probably will get back to stage after you hit them with it. Let me just add in that I think down B should spike, like, not on stage where you'd get a pitfall on them, although that'd be fine too, but I think it should spike off stage just so that Kirby has one useful special for off stage in edge guarding. And since we're on the topic of edge guarding, a useful thing to do with Kirby's other special, neutral B, the inhale, is to use it to edge guard an opponent. So like they'll be using the recovery to get back, and you just inhale them, spit them back out, and they lose their jump if they used one. I'll note that when I play Kirby, I don't really go for neutral B because I don't really care about getting the copy, and when I'm off stage I usually just go for down air, but you can use it to edge guard. But if you are going to go for the copy ability, there's a few characters that you definitely should go for the copy on. Number 1 is Shulk because his Monado powers are just busted on Kirby. Number 2 is Captain Falcon because the helmet looks nice, you know, you got that new drip on you, and then you just flex on him. Number 3 has to be Snake because you get a beard, I mean, come on. No, but seriously, any character that has a projectile as their neutral B, like Mario, Cloud, Luigi, they're just really nice to inhale because then you don't have to use up B to get a projectile. And before I go to the next special move, I'm just going to say that using neutral B to cheese wins is very fun and very satisfying. You should do it if you're playing against somebody that's getting a little bit too cocky. And by cheese wins, I mean like cheese stocks, you know, like you'll inhale them off the edge, spit them out underneath the stage, and then they don't have a good enough recovery to get back, or they just get stuck under there and they just die. Easy win on the stock. People hate it, it tilts them, it's great. Now Kirby's up special, or up B for most players, is going to be the cutter ability that he has from his games. Now this move involves a hitbox on almost every point of the attack, except for I believe the apex of your height. Essentially for this special move, Kirby pulls out a blade, goes up, down, and then when he hits the ground, a projectile comes out. Now in most cases this move has too much startup lag to be implemented into a combo, so what I use it for is the projectile at the end. And that's one of the 2 key points, because as you start going down, you'll have a spike hitbox, but it doesn't persist, so not the entire time you're going down, you'll be able to spike. It's not like Ike and Crom's up B, but the spike that it has is very strong. Now, as I said, I only really use up B for the projectile at the end, because Kirby doesn't really have any good projectiles unless you inhale one, so it can be nice for dealing with people that are trying to get in, so you can, use it to space. There's not really much to Kirby's up B, it's his recovery, so we're just going to swing it on over to side B. Side B is Kirby's hammer flip. It's not really all that useful and practical in a real match, unless you're trying to meme on people, kinda like Falcon Punch. Side B's best use is like after you break somebody's shield, or if a Jigglypuff misses their rest, they have all that ending lag, you just charge it up, hit them, pretty decent damage. I really only use it when I'm trying to predict somebody's roll, but I don't know, maybe you can find some tech or better use for it than I can. Before I move on, let me just add that you can move and jump while charging hammer flip. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, Kirby is not a high tier character. He's very low tier, under the radar. A lot of players don't really enjoy playing him. They say that he makes the game unfun for them. So keep that in mind when you're playing Kirby. Try not to get too frustrated, because you're not really playing a character like Chrom, who has a very easy kill confirm. But if you beat a good player, drop some teabags and make sure to find them on Twitter and let them know just how bad they are. But seriously, to play Kirby practically, you're going to need to play a little bit defensive. You can't really go too offensive, because like I said, his moves don't have a lot of hits done, so they don't really leave you a lot of options for combos. You're going to want to really fish for grabs, because you can combo forward throw into forward air or forward throw into down air, or even if you don't want to really fish for grabs, just throw out a couple of forward airs and throw out a couple of down airs and hope that one connects, but I really don't recommend just praying for connection. One thing I like to do as Kirby, even though you won't see it in the background gameplay, is I like to use a short hop up air, fast fall, up tilt, and then wait to see if they use a jump to get out, and then you can try to hit them with like a forward air or a back air, get them off stage. They don't have their jump anymore, and then that's when you can chase them down with a down air and spike them. Keep in mind that Kirby's down air isn't a very strong spike. It doesn't really compare to something like Mario's forward air or Falcon's down air, so it won't really work against characters with really good recoveries at low percent, but it'll work well at high percent against characters with good recoveries or bad recoveries at low percent, like Little Mac and Ganon. And one thing that people like to do in Smash 4 against characters with bad recoveries was keep spamming them with forward air and then just chase them all the way to the blast zone and then use their remaining jumps to make it back without losing a stock. And that's about it for Kirby. As far as I can think of, I didn't really miss too much. Maybe that up throw kills, but it kills very late, like 150, so you'd be better off just chasing them off stage and hitting them with down air. Kirby's throws don't really do too much in terms of killing, except for up throw, like I said. Forward throw sends them up and towards the corner of the blast box. Back throw does the same, and down throw also sends them forward and up. So you're really just going to want to try prioritizing getting your opponent off stage with Kirby. He doesn't really have too much to kill on stage except for smash attacks, and they don't really come out all that fast. And of course, every character's smash attack can kill people on stage. He's not really special in that fact. My biggest tip for new Kirby players would be to not take it too seriously. Like I said, Kirby's not a very high tier character, so just try to have some fun with him. Until he gets any buffs, he's not really going to be considered competitive. So, just explore, do what you can, have fun. And yeah, that's going to be where I end the video. I'm not really planning on making any other character guides. Kirby's the only character that I really play right now, other than Toon Link. So unless you guys want a guide on him, this is going to be the only one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.